The year was 1982, and all across America, many Kiss fans were wondering,
Dude, who was that masked man?
Hi, I'm Ronna Joe with DMV, and we're about to bring you our exclusive interview with former Kiss guitarist and current Invasionee Vinnie Vincent. Although his first album was released 2 years ago this month, his history runs much deeper. From Vinnie's late 70s work with Felix Cavalier and Treasure to his high-profile work with you-know-who, it's all here in
The Invasion of the Tommy Snatchers.
Everybody knows about the rise and continued dominance of the guitar hero in modern-day music, from Eddie Van Halen in the very late 70s to Joe Satriani in the rather late 80s. It's all well documented and very visible. Many, though, are rather critical of the apparent lack of interest in songwriting displayed by a number of the offshoots from this breed. From Yngwie Malmsteen's alleged overkill to Ted Nugent's occasional repetition, these retractors may have a case. But such is not the case with Vinnie Vincent. In fact, far from it. Vinnie is now earning his keep as an established songwriter, having written and recorded with such notable luminaries as John Waite, Peter Criss, Dan Hartman, Carmine Appice, and of course, Kiss. Vinnie's first real vinyl outing came in 1977 when Felix Cavalier, previously of the Young Rascals, formed epic recording artist Treasure. Vinnie contributed guitars and vocals to the album, but still no major chart success was to be found. The group eventually disbanded, and Vinnie, although a native of New York, was West Coast bound. Once there, Vinnie mingled with various musicians and songwriters who represented a wide variety of musical styles. One of these artists was Adam Mitchell, who in early 1982 found himself writing songs for Kiss's Creatures of the Night LP. It was a crucial period for Kiss, who were wailing from the apparent lack of interest in such brilliant but misunderstood LPs like Unmasked and The Elder. Enter Vinnie Vincent. Originally incorporated as songwriter Vincent Cassano, it was with the donning of his Onk-like makeup and the departure of Ace Frehley that Vinnie Vincent was born. Although his face does not appear on either of the Creatures covers, the music had changed, and Kiss was back, but not without its casualties. Having survived the semi-traumatic unmasking on their Lick It Up LP, Vinnie's presence was truly felt, but perhaps too much so, in view of the fact that by the end of their 83-84 world tour, Vinnie was out and on his own. If it all sounds like an overnight sensation, it wasn't. It took Vinnie almost 2 years and several false starts to get his Invasion rolling. The turning point for the birth of the Invasion was the crucial partnership of Dana Strum and Mr. Vincent. Bassist and producer Strum was notorious for having recommended the late Randy Rhoads and others to Ozzy Osbourne, but now it was his turn. Vinnie and Dana collaborated on various demos and later landed Houston's Bobby Rock on drums. With studio time booked, a frantic search ensued for an unnamed vocalist from an unmarked demo that Vinnie had received earlier that year. But time was the victor, and Robert Fleischman the vocalist. Fleischman, a friend of Vinnie's but by no means a frontman, eventually stepped to the side as the voice from Vegas had been found. Enter Mark Slaughter. Onward, the Invasion. Hi, I'm Ronna Joe, and I'm with DMV. We're here backstage at Tommy's with Vinnie Vincent. Vinnie, we're really glad you can make it with us tonight.
I'm delighted myself. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. We're going to give you a little history test here first, okay? Due to your current popularity, the Treasure album you recorded back in 1977 has become one of the most sought-after collector items for Invasion fans. How did you get involved with that project?
I was living in Connecticut at the time, and I was a very big fan of Felix Cavalier from the Rascal days. And, you know, working with him, the idea of it was really a wonderful thing for me. And he was looking for a hot young guitar player from town. And someone had told him about me. He had called me. And it was my first real time being in the studio and doing an album. And it was a lot of fun. It was great fun. I mean, it was just the whole idea of it was real special for me. And it was on Epic Records, and it really, I doubt if there were many more than 10,000 albums actually in the stores. And if there was that many, I'd be very surprised. And I don't even have a copy. And I'd show up at, you know, at towns or record stores, and people have this album that I haven't seen in 10 years. And
great picture on it, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm completely different, you know, that's me, oh my God, you know, 10 years, 12 years ago.
Were there any live performances?
Yes, there were. We did a large club tours, but it only lasted, that band lasted probably about 8 months. Then he did a solo album on his own, which he had me play on again, but the band disbanded, and, you know, I went on to do other things, and but it was a great experience first time for me.
You wrote a song a few years back called Tears. It's been recorded by John Wade and Peter Criss. One of those your favorites, or do you have a favorite of your own?
I do have a favorite of my own. I recorded a version, of my song. I have a studio in my house, and sometimes I'll have an old song and I'll redo it or something. I don't think it's been captured yet. They both are good versions in their own way, and I like things about both versions. I think Peter did a real good version of it. John's was a lot different than what my version of it was, and he rocked it up quite a bit, took a little bit of a certain emotional part of it away. But they were both surprisingly different and both good. But I do have a version of my own. I think that
Great. Maybe we'll hear that someday.
Maybe.
Word has it, speaking of Criss, that you've been writing with Peter Criss. Will those songs materialize on an Invasion album?
Anything's possible. Peter and I talked about doing some writing together, and we've kept in touch over the past couple of years, and anything's possible. We've talked about doing some work together, and I hope it happens. He's a great guy, and it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun.
Would you rather be known as Vinnie Vincent songwriter or Vinnie Vincent guitarist?
It's funny, I don't consider myself a songwriter. I've always been and am obsessed with my guitar. My songs are just a vehicle for my playing, and my emotions, obviously, but guitar is my #1 love. Songs are just an extension of what to do with the music that I know and what to do with my guitar. They have to channel somewhere. So I put riffs together, and then, I solo. They're like vehicles for my playing. So I don't really think of myself as a songwriter. I'm a guitarist first and foremost.
Would you ever wear the ankh again?
Oh, I guess if it was, that's an interesting question. I guess under certain circumstances it might be fun.
Okay, how long has the All Systems Show been on the road?
All Systems Go, it's been on the road a month now. And it's been a lot of fun for us. It's the first time we're getting a chance to headline. And not for being a headline act, but just we get a chance to play an hour and a half and really explore who it is, what we are as a band, and how all of it works. Whereas last tour, we were out on tour about 7 months, and we were only playing about 30-minute set. So by the time you're finished, you're ready to keep going, and now we still get a chance to really play it out and do it. And it's been fun.
In that last tour, you were opening for Alice Cooper and acts like that. Do you prefer opening, or do you obviously prefer headlining?
Well, I don't think I'm ready to. I don't think my career is ready to headline status. I mean, this is a baby band and it's a baby act, and there's still a long way to go. And I don't really think that headlining right now on anything major is in the cards for us. This is really just to get ourselves together. And I think at this point in my career, it's great to play an hour and a half and headline. Ultimately, that's what makes me feel the best. But I think career-wise, I'm still an opening act.
First video, Boys Are Gonna Rock, from your first album, was nearly self-destructive. It has to be seen to be understood. Do you have any comments on that?
It got a lot of frustrations out, and anyone I was angry at the time, I had a great time doing it.
Have you considered any I Have Survived, the Boys Are Gonna Rock t-shirts?
That's great. It's a great idea, it really is a great idea. I might take you up on that.
Okay.
It's so fitting for the occasion.
On your new album, All Systems Go, there seems to be a more cohesive band feel. Is this intentional, or is this just a natural progression?
I think it just automatically happened because of, the input, and it was together now at this point for a year and a half. And, the songs lend themselves to that kind of a setting. And this album is a much more song-oriented album. It has a much broader and wider range of emotional content to the songs. And I think it's very satisfying as far as an overall album of emotional pieces and where it takes you. And I think the songs just naturally take where the listener, where the band is. It just naturally takes you there.
That's something interesting I've noticed. You have songs that are very hard rock and very soft love ballads. Any comments on that?
There are two sides of me, and I think it was important to put both sides on there instead of just letting people think that I was a one-dimensional hardcore rocker who destroys amplifiers, I have feelings,
Are you a Gemini?
Pardon me?
Are you a Gemini?
No, I'm a Leo.
Oh, well, close
I don't
enough.
know what
Close
that
enough.
means anyway.
What is the most popular misconception about the Vinnie Vincent invasion, and why is it wrong?
That's a pretty good question. I don't know what misconceptions are. I think whatever misconceptions started in the beginning of this as a glam band I think that's all over with because it was a phase that we went through at the time, and I think bands and like people and like everyone going through life have a right to go through phases and come out the other end and be, well, here I am now. So it was never, I think if you listen to the album, you say this is not a glam band. So we were doing something that was different for the time, which no one ever combined that look and real musicianship and real hot guitar playing. No one ever combined those. So it was interesting, and I think people now, when they see it, it all makes sense and it's all logical, and we are who we are, and it all fits like a glove, you know?
Do you have anything to say about the color pink?
I still love the color pink.
All right. I'm so glad to hear you say that. What would be the 3 songs in the Invasion catalog that would be most indicative of your attitude?
Boys Are Gonna Rock. It's an anthem of sorts, and it's an attitude. 3 songs, boy, that's interesting. Ashes to Ashes is a real good attitude. God. Burn is a great attitude, or Breakout. Most of my songs are attitude songs that have, you know, some partially to do with surviving, being proud of what you do, and doing it well. And I think it's all that, and then winning in the end, you know, that's always a nice part of it.
Yeah, amen.
So that's my imagination talking here, you know. But
what's next for the Invasion, especially videos?
videos, we just did one about a month ago called That Time of Year, and we're doing one in a couple of days for a song called Love Kills. We're flying back to Los Angeles for it, and it will be the theme song for the new Nightmare on Elm Street 4 movie, which will be fun. I hear there's going to be a 16-foot mechanical Freddy monster, and Freddie and Vinnie Vincent will be dueling it out at one point, and it should be a lot of fun. They had asked me to write something particularly for the movie, which I was really, you know, flattered and honored to do. But and I did come up with something that might be on our next Invasion album, but we couldn't record it because we were so busy. And they went back and listened to the album, and Love Kills, with the title and the type of song it was, really caught them, and they thought it was a great theme song for the movie. So it should be a lot of fun.
Do you have a new album rolling in the back of your head now?
Oh, I've got 2 more already recorded and finished.
Oh, great.
You know, because I've got a studio in my house now, and it affords me the luxury of, you know, working day and night. You know, I live on a very residential street, you know, with normal people, and, you know, I'm the crazy guy in the street who cops come over at 4 in the morning and ask me to turn my guitar down. So everything's written. I mean, I've been on a very positive, energy, inspirational role at this point in my life. So where I'm going, you know, I take advantage of it, of the moment when it happens for creating, and I think what's about to come up, record-wise, is farther than I thought I was able to take it. But it probably would be my best work up to date. So this album here has been a really good. All Systems Go has been a real good middle ground of where, you know, where this is going. And the 3rd album will be a wild, out of your mind kind of record with a lot of great songs.
Any possibility of a live album?
Yes, absolutely. We've been talking about one right now, and I think what's happening with us live right now, I don't think we've caught on record yet. So there's a tremendous amount of energy. The playing is very sophisticated, and the overall feeling of it is very, very good. And the audience reaction has been tremendous. So it would be a shame not to record it, you know, and have it for people to listen to.
Okay, thank you, Vinnie, for being with us tonight.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
That was Vinnie Vincent. We're back here at Tommy's, and this is for DMV. Thank you.